Skip it up and that up. So just like I've been saying, EA is also saying that the next-gen consoles are going to be a significant leap over the current generation. This nonsense about us hitting a graphics dead end is exactly that, nonsense. Let's get into it. Today's video is brought to you by the Sabrent Rocket Nano hard drive. This is a hard drive. It's the size of a thumb drive, and it stores up to 2 terabytes of storage depending on the model you purchase, and it has up to 1,000 megabytes per second speeds. It also comes in this awesome case and includes a USB-A to USB-C cable and a Thunderbolt 3 cable to really take advantage of how fast this drive truly is. Affiliate link below in the description.
Exposure.
Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I have a podcast now. It's called Exposed. It is on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play Music. It's also on Podbean. That's where I host it, but you can listen to it there as well. You want to check it out? I'm going to have guests on there. I'm going to have news that I would never talk about. YouTube on there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's me, myself, and I doing the podcast. So if you want to listen to me while you're driving in the car or you're out and about, now you can. Again, links below in the description. So anyway, back to the news. A few days ago, I posted a video where ccn.com had an article saying we're going to hit a graphics dead end with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And I rolled my eyes at this for a couple reasons. One, because it's just factually not true. I have the PC hardware behind me and in other computers that I own that proves that dead wrong, that there is still ways to go in terms of graphical fidelity. And secondly, we've heard this a billion times before. I remember with other generations, how are we going to top the PlayStation 2? It has Pixar-like graphics. How are we going to top the PlayStation 3? It's a supercomputer. Saddam Hussein is going to be using the PS2 to control rockets. And oh my God, the power is just so untapped. And we can't go any further than this. And yeah, okay, the law of diminishing returns does come into play. But no, we're not there yet. Yes, each jump is going to be a little bit smaller, but actually I think this jump, and other people in the industry have said it before, is going to be one of the biggest hardware performance leaps maybe ever. So where that CCN article was getting its information from, or how their take, like I said in the title of the video, was a bad take. I don't agree with it. I guess it's kind of opinion, but I just don't agree with their opinion. Well, anyway, EA also thinks that next-gen consoles are going to be a significant leap over current generation, and this is what they had to say during an investors meeting. I'm quoting right now from IGN.com. During an investor call for EA's fiscal 2020 quarter E3, EA's leadership team was asked about their plans for next-gen consoles. While EA declined to share any specific details like game titles or announcements, EA appears bullish on the generational leap that will come with the next wave of hardware. The power of the new consoles is going to be substantially greater than existing consoles, said EA CFO Blake Jorgensen during the call. We can do a lot more with PS5 and Xbox Series X. Things we're doing will blow people's minds. Jorgensen also said there's going to be so much innovation, not just from EA, but from the whole industry, not only with more sophisticated games, but even the creation of new genres. And this is what I've been saying. Let's look back at the hardware from the PS4, the base one, and the base Xbox One, and even the Series X, which is still have one right here, an impressive console nonetheless, and the PS4 Pro, which isn't as impressive. You have the Jaguar Core CPUs inside both the base consoles and the Pro and Xbox One X consoles. Those CPUs were garbage. Already talked about that. And even the graphics, what was it inside of the PS4 base? 7850, and the base Xbox One was a 7790. They cut it back so they could shoehorn in the Kinect and cut down on costs. And even the PS4 Pro has the equivalent of an AMD RX 480, and it's an AMD graphics processor inside of the Xbox One X. But I think Digital Foundry was the one that said it's kind of equivalent to a GTX 1060, which you can do 4K gaming on. I've actually made a video where I put a 1060 inside of a Dell gaming PC, or a Dell PC, which wasn't a gaming PC, it was an office PC, and did quite a bit of 4K gaming. So it's not like there's plenty of room for improvement, especially on the CPU side and the GPU side for next-gen consoles. And I know what it's going to be. I have hardware that's equivalent to what next-gen consoles are going to be, and my God, is it a huge difference over current generation. Now, you could argue, Rich, there's optimizations they could do for consoles, so you may not see the leap as much as you're thinking. There's a small argument for that, but there is enough power there that, okay, I understand we're going to one day probably going to hit that graphics dead end or that graphics wall, but we ain't there yet, man. We haven't hit that uncanny valley yet. We haven't gotten to the point where everything's photorealistic. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. And the power that's going to be in these next-gen consoles, especially when developers truly tap it, is going to be a huge difference. And we're going to laugh at articles like that one from ccn.com in a couple years. So don't worry, next-gen is going to be impressive. I assure you, I'm much more confident about the power of 9th-gen consoles than I was about the power of the 8th-gen consoles before they came out. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.